Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ammo Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm Ammo Bus Videos, otherwise known as Ammo Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. And welcome to Hereford Station. As promised in the previous video, I thought we'd try a little bit of a different area, a different bit of geography of the map. And I thought we've been doing quite a lot around Apsley's locals at the moment. We are going to continue to do them very soon, but I thought just for one video, we'll go and have a look at a different area just for a little bit. So you join me, as I say, at Hereford Station with an Arriva bus in front of us. In fact, what was 4506, if I believe, if I was correct. An ex-Arriva North East B10BLE Renown that has since been scrapped. Featured here in the full Cotswold Stone livery, proper Cotswold Stone associated interior as well. The interior I grew up with as a kid with this, so I approve of it. And we're driving it on the old Arriva service on Bowdenham version 5. Now numbered D459, it runs between here and Garston Manor. There is also services that go to Knockhill Business Park, although we're not doing a Knockhill Business Park run today. I don't believe. The route that we're doing takes us 22 minutes in length. As I say, I don't believe there's no Knockhill Business Park in here, so we can do that again at some other point. That's like a peak time business park shuttle bus, so we'll cover that at some other point. But for now, we're taking this on here. As I say, going back to the old era of Arriva running this service, albeit it hasn't been renumbered. So I've got the Studio Polygon destination pack for Bowdenham version 5 installed. However, unfortunately, the rollers don't work for this. That is a shame. It is a shame that when the creators of the Studio Polygon blind pack only focused on the London spec vehicles rather than doing anything with roll blinds. When I thought it was Studio Polygon, I thought it would include everything, but hey ho, we live and we learn. So we are just going to run around with a number on, no blind, although to be fair, with it being Arriva and Cotswold Stone, it does all feel quite appropriate. I mean, there's even graffiti on the back of this as well. So we'll get ourselves onto stand. I also have to remember that it is not as quick as the street light that we drove last time. I do have to, that is of paramount importance that I remember that. Oh, we ate some railings there, unfortunately. Didn't want to eat railings, but I always misjudged that turn. I did it when I drove it 408 in Decker. I cut into it a little bit, and it gets tighter. So I need to learn a lesson there for the next time I come up here. And then I need to start doing some of the business park shuttles. I mean, there is a motorway section on this map, or at least there used to be. I believe it will still be there. So we do need to do some motorway business park runs. I think we can take the Levante for something like that, so that'd be quite nice to get the Levante out and about. It's been a while since I've used that bus. Oh, didn't mean to pop the horn. I went for the doors, popped the horn instead. Ah, yes, it comes from the other way to what the 408 or the old 375 does. I remember. I don't remember it being only 22 minutes though. That's slightly taken me by surprise. I'm sure it used to be longer. So the reason I wanted to drive this is I do remember driving the old Arriva Sapphire run when this was a Sapphire service. I think it was, as I say, it was in the 8 series was this route back then. I'm sure it was. It was a very high up number. numerically. I'm not in the mood to attack any more railings if I can help it. That's what we're trying to avoid. So another reason I drove this is because in Yorkshire especially, there's been a rise of Cotswold stone again out of absolutely nowhere. Arriva Yorkshire are always quite up to date with the fleet. I mean, they had the old Cotswold stone painted bus, and I mean 1413 that I recently saw in the scrapyard Commander. That had an old interior light, but on the whole, everything was pretty much interurban or brand new livery, so they did really, really well. So it came as a surprise where out of nowhere all of these Cotswold stone buses started to appear. There's currently 2 in use at this exact moment in time. There's a third example in a hybrid in Cotswold stone with an interurban swoop line at the bottom, sort of skirting. There's 1 in hybrid and 2 in full Cotswold stone, and they all have their original interiors. As a result, you tend to find that with Arriva, when they paint stuff, they tend to retrim and refurb it as well. So it tends to be sort of like a double package. I mean, the stuff that they're painting at the moment, when it goes in for paint and goes into the new Arriva livery, oh, I'm not going to stop in time. We'll get to well, I was gonna. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen because. Sorry, and I've also slightly impaled the sign. This is not going well. Gonna walk up? No, sorry. Oops. Sort of didn't think there'd be a bus stop hiding around the corner. Route arrows, like a route mentor does, would usually warn you with stuff like that. Not just appear, but at least we know it for future. I'm also going to take that as a lesson that we might not want to be absolutely rocketing it about the place. Is that better? Right up way it. It'll do. See if I can. There we go. That's all right. I mean, bus is quite low on ground, but I'm going to blame that on the gradients. The gradient, there we go. Yeah, it's like gradients. That was important. I know it has been a long time since I last drove on this map, but I do not remember any of this. Unless it is new. There's always that potential. Oh, I didn't mean to shoot past someone. I mean, anybody who were desperate enough to want bus would probably have walked up. Walked up at least, so. Although, to be fair, I might have seen how quick I came around the corner and thought, nah, I'll pass. But to be fair, I did shoot round there, so I wouldn't blame him. No, it's been an excellent start to the video. Arriva. But yes, as I was saying with the Cotswold Stones, they're all pulsars. They've got 2 pulsars out of the batch so far from Merseyside. They are expecting more. Expecting more pulsars. Potentially from Merseyside, potentially not. But they are expecting more, as there's still a numerical gap. And then it's 1 example from North East, an NK09. So 2 CX58 and an NK09. As I say, they all have their own original interiors. There's going to be a couple of videos of them. The odd 1 or 2 of them popping up on the Ammo Central channel and then eventually here. So do check the videos out if you haven't already, for when they do release. Well, I say if you haven't already, if they're not out yet, probably won't have. That tends to be how these things work on mobile videos. Tends to be. Teensy Weensy a little bit tired today. Just a little. But yeah, when I do release the videos, do go and check those out, because, I mean, the interiors were ace. I mean, unfortunately, you tend to find with vehicles that they don't tend to bother refurbishing or putting much investment into tend to be the tired ones, and especially 1432. And they've got 1431, 1432, and 1443 that are Cotswold stone vehicles. 1443 is the northeast one in the hybrid livery. Sort of the hybrid, a bit of both. Best of both worlds that the northeast did. So the 1432 especially was incredibly tired, very, very, very slow on the hills. That was a shame to see. I mean, a couple of the Merseyside Pulsars have been that way, where they've just been relentlessly tired when they've shown up. It is a shame, because as much as I'm not a fan of the Pulsar 2s that were new to Yorkshire, I've never found them that exciting. They were decent, reliable buses, so it was a shame. It seemed like a bit of a sore substitute, really, to get shut to them. Oh, we've no longer got TfL bus stops. How exciting! This is presumably we're in St Albans. St Albans, a slough of Bowdenham. That's where we're at. I do find Slough brilliant, where you've just got the 81 going in. You've got just one TfL route with all the TfL infrastructure just running into Slough, and that's it. Everything else is like first bus or as Reading or subsidiary of Reading. Unfortunately, I never went on any of these Renowns. We had one at Yorkshire Tiger for a brief period. Unfortunately, it wasn't the most reliable bus in the world, so it wasn't out particularly much. That I always thought was a bit of a shame, really, because it would have been nice to have a go on that. But I did, however, just before the pandemic, we got the B10BLE with an ALX 300 body. I'd been on it in the northeast, and then it showed up in Huddersfield on loan to Yorkshire Tigers, so that was pretty cool. I went on that, got a couple of vague photos of it. The idea was I was going to go back and get some more proper photos. We all now know that didn't happen. We very much know. I mean, I also remember around the same period of time that there were all the Scania Solars, the L94UB Solars, on loan from Go North East to East Yorkshire. They were all running around in all sorts of liveries. And again, that was a week that it all kicked off a few years ago. That again were really annoying, because I planned a trip out to Hull, and I cancelled at very last minute. Because everything was getting quite climactic with what we're kicking off. So I do regret still not going over. Looking back, I do regret still not going over. And we're back in London bus stops and photographing. I do regret not going over and just photographing. However, you can look back as much as you want now, but back then it was quite a scary situation. But that's how it's done. So I'm learning, but we're learning not to wipe out bus. Oh, this is new, coming up. Yeah, this is very, very non-London suburby. is this. This is what you'd expect from an area that is just outside of London. This is the stapled eye to that. I mean, they even have same bus stops. But this is very much what you'd expect. Oh, this is well cool. See if we can get a screenshot down here. That might be quite nice. Lighting is semi-okay. Semi-okay. Don't want to show the fact that the people are genuinely 2D though, if I can help it. Might just do this section where people are a little bit further away. There we go. It's a bit better. And we'll get rid of that. There we go. That's a bit better. Because in that way, in the screenshot, it doesn't give the impression that the people are 2D. I mean, yes, they are 2D. However, it doesn't give that impression. Oh, this is well cool. I like this. That makes up for last video's totally green light in the bus station does that. That's what that makes up for. We are slightly over the line. I am going to blame that on this rather random dip that happens as you're approaching the lights. It's really good because you're braking. I understand why, because it's all level out with the pedestrian area and then you drop back down to the road. However, having it when you're braking and quite a gradual, relatively steep slope when you're braking to stop isn't ideal, because when you are preparing the brakes and you've sort of planned it, you know when it's going to stop, and then it starts rolling again, like then you're like, and then by the time you've reacted, front end is over front at lights. We're doing okay for time. So there we go. So we're done Watton. It'll be Watton, won't it? Yeah, these people stood quite far away from the flags. Is a little bit annoying, I'm going to be honest, because all the bus stop bays have been built so nicely, and then the flag, the actual cube for where the AI passengers stand and the iBuses all stop is actually quite far away from the flag. So you can't appreciate the full bay. Either that or you have to wait for them to walk up to the bus. I remember this. I think I'm thinking of somewhere else. Vaguely remember it. Vaguely. May not be the right place, but the association is there's a bridge and it's in Bowdenham. And I remember that there was a bridge like this in Bowdenham. Whether it's this one or not, as I say, is another question. However, we're about 50% there, so that's good. That's a big wall. I also really like the variety of scenery in this map. Oh, look at that. Big supermarket. Unrealistic. I don't know many places that are open 24 hour. What does that say? Monday 6 AM to Saturday midnight, 24 hours, and then Sundays 10 till 4. That's a fair way of doing it. Don't see many 24-hour supermarkets anymore. There's a couple bits. I mean, stuff like budgeons, for example, still 24 hours, but it's not like it used to be. It used to have all round here, all big Asdas. They used to be 24 hour. Although I don't think there's the market for them anymore in this day and age. It is a shame. Just an arrow with nothing on it. An arrow with a face. Okay. Oh, it's the barriers! I remember the barriers. And they still work, that's really good. Otherwise we might have had a slight problem there. I genuinely forgot about the variety that you get with these routes. Really did forget the variety. The fan is accurate and realistic for an ex-Arriva North East Renown. That feels quite like it works. Although, to be fair, I think in more recent times, I don't believe there has been a run I've done with this Renown where the fan hasn't come on. Oh, this has changed since our last year. Crikey. I'm sure it was different. I'm sure it was just like a driving to yard situation. I prefer this though. I do like this. And how early were we? I didn't do too bad on that one. Slightly late leaving, so it kind of balanced itself out. Oh. There we go. Off goes the bus. So yeah, that was a nice run. Apologies about the not so good driving. I don't quite know. I think it were just quite narrow roads. I did forget how narrow this route is, especially leaving Hereford. I did forget that. So I will remember that for next time to take some of the junctions ever so slightly wider. But for now, with all that in mind, I do hope you have all enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Bowdenham Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, with videos up to twice a week from OMSI 2, as well as an archive of over 6,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond, with buses, trams, trains and more. There's something on there for everyone, with an additional 21 of those videos added every week. So that's 23 videos a week on the Bowdenham Videos channel alone, alongside And More Central. So do go and check out the And More Central YouTuber main channel if you haven't already as well. For now, I really hope you've enjoyed this one though, and I will see you all in the next one I make. Goodbye for now. Bye!